everyone, how are you today? First of all, thank you guys for clicking this video. But before going any further, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Mika and I'm a fourth semester student from English Study Department at University of Kapuas Sintang. And today, I will make this video because I want to share a presentation to you guys, and I will present about the material from teaching English as foreign language. The topic is about approach, methods, and the technique in teaching English as foreign language. So, before going any further, guys, I just want to say also that uh, this video is to fulfill the task from Ms. Laila Tusada as our lecturer at Material Teaching English as Foreign Language. So, let's go to the video. Okay guys, in the first slide, I will tell you about what is TEFL. Basically, this is the meaning of this word is teaching English for foreign language. Yeah, so in the definition that you can see also in the PPT, the most commonly refers TFL is the most commonly referred to the teaching English as a foreign language in the countries where English is not the primary. So yeah, that is the meaning of TFL. So the main focus of TFL is the teaching process that where the teacher is teaching the student about a language that basically is not their mother tongue. For example, in Indonesia, the teacher teach the students about English. Basically, in Indonesian country, uh, English is our foreign language, not not the first language or the second language, but English in Indonesia basically is foreign language. And then the work of TFL educator based on the needs of the people they serve. Of course, because the students want to know about how to speak in English or learning English. So basically, the main focus of the teacher or educator who teach TFL is to fulfill the needs of the students. And then TFL educator encourage students to improve their skills on listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Of course, because the core skill in English is basically it's about listening, speaking, reading, and also the writing. So the educator who teach about the TFL, they really focus on this fourth element. So that's all in the first presentation slide. So basically, in this part, we just talk about what is TFL in the general meaning. Next one is the definition based on Cambridge Dictionary. It's about approach, methods, and the technique. So what is the meaning of approach, method, and technique? So the first one, approach. Approach is to come near or nearer to something or someone in speech, time, quality, or amount. So approach is something like we become closer to something that we need. For example, the teacher into the students. So the teacher need to doing approach when they are become a teacher that need to understand about their students. And then the method is the particular way of doing something. So the method is the particular way how we do something. That is the method. And the technique is a way of doing an activity that needs a skill. If the method is the way we do something, so the technique is the way of doing an activity that needs skill. So in technique, basically we need skills. For example, in teaching method, basically we need also the technique inside the uh, situation. So that is the definition. I hope you guys understand. So the approach is how the teacher become closer to their students. That is the general meaning. And also the method is the way of doing something. And the technique is a way of doing an activity. So the particular way and a way of doing something. Okay, the next one is we talk about approach in TFL. So what is approach in TFL? Are you guys want to know about it? So let's go check it out. Okay, the first one is, let's see what is approach in TFL. Approach is a level of the theories. Approach is axiomatic. Approach in TFL is the level of assumption and beliefs about the language learning, and the teaching language. Different people may have different beliefs and assumption about that. So basically, in this one is the way the teacher become closer to their students, and there are a lot of assumption about learning English. So basically, the teacher need to understand about that, and the different method derived from different theories or assumption about the nature language. In this way, educator can see the learner needs that educator must be able to fulfill all the needs of their learners. So the educator must understand the needs of the students. That is the approach in TFL. Basically, the teacher need to understand their students. Okay, next. There are three different views of nature of language. So the first one is the structure view. The structural view sees language as a system of structurally related to elements. So in this one, a lot of people have their own assumption about English language, or how the nature of the language. So they have their own assumption about it. So the first one is the structure view, that basically the people who see that language as a system of structurally related to element. So what is the element of speaking or the communication? That is the way they see that the nature of language. And the functional views considers language as place to express functional meaning, discussing a specific topic or concept while learning. So in this part, the people who view the language as the functional view is they think that language is uh, the place to express everything about what we need to say or what we need to do. Okay, the next one is the interaction view. So the people who says that a language in the interaction view is the people says that language as a place for the relation of interpersonal relationship and social interaction between individual. So in this part, mm, the people who sees or think language is the interaction field, they believe that English is not cannot use if we don't have partner, or just happen between one people or one person. I mean one person. So in this part, they think that we can build the communication if we have partner. So that is the interaction view. So there is the three different views of nature of language. Okay, the next one is the method in TEFL. Okay, method is procedural. Procedure, how or the way something happens. A method develops on some assumption of an approach, includes rule plan for the presentation of language material. The example of some method that used in teaching English are audiolingual method, direct method, silent way, total physical response, community language learning, and Suggestopedia. So this is uh, the method that are commonly using in teaching language. So the next one is another way of looking at method. According to Richard and Rogers, 2001, the level of designs, the objective of language teaching, language syllabus content are determined. Also, design the role of language teachers. Instructional material are also specific. So, for example, like this, The teacher in this part, you can see on the in the image in the PPT that I also share in the screen. The teacher have to think the way how they will teach their student, and then in this part, teacher is become who. So in this part, uh, the way teacher do something is most important, something like that. Okay, next one, technique in TEFL. Okay, technique is implementation. Implementation, that means we do something. So in this part, technique is not only include the presentation of language material, but also the repetition of the material. Technique also develop from assumption. Language syllabus will guide language teacher to decide to do something. So yeah, in this part is the way we do something. So this is the implementation of something. We can see that in the picture beside my presentation. You can see that how to take a box. So we need to using the step by step. In this part, the teacher also need to focus on the step by step that they will be implemented, that they will be implemented to their student. In the next slide, I also give that some example of techniques in error correction. So this is the example of how the technique implemented by the teacher. So the first one is silent way. The teacher does not praise or criticize the language learner. So in this part, if the student not doing something that like the mistake, really big mistake, so the teacher is not criticize their students. So the teacher is not allowed to like angry or something like that to their students. So if your student making something wrong, you just need to make it correct. So you need just correct the mistake, and then yeah, let's go learn about another material. And then audio lingual method. So the teacher often phrases when the student has made a good thing. So in this part, when the student make a good thing or make it something correct or something like that, so the teacher can like praise them, and that can make them the student feel happy because they have like the a confirmation, something like that. And then total physical response, the teacher correct the mistake made by students. So in this way, the teacher uh, really focus on the students, and when the student make the mistake or something like that, so the teacher try to correct the mistake. And then natural method. So what is natural method? So the teacher does not care a student makes an error as long it does not hinder communication. So in this part, maybe I'm going to teach my student like this, because natural method, you not criticize your students, and also not to try to correct their mistakes. So in this part, you're just going to teach them, and if there are any mistake, you just like, okay, you make a mistake and then you need to correct it, then yeah, we're going to learn again. So in this part, yeah, just if the communication still if the communication still can understand by another student or something like that, or also by me, I will like that's I will like that I will like let them go with that kind of the situation. I'm just going to, oh yeah, you make a mistake, maybe for the better word, maybe you can use this word, something like that. So in this is the technique in natural method. So the teacher not really like strict or really obsessive to make the student in the correct way in when they're learning, something like that. So now we are in the conclusion. So in the conclusion we have 3 points. So the first point is a number of way of conceptualizing approaches, methods, and techniques may have been proposed. The understanding may avoid the teacher from misunderstanding the concept. So in this part, the conclusion of the whole, so this the teacher must really understand basically their students and also the material and also the needs from their students. That is the key if we want to become a great teacher or the teacher who success in their learning process. And then approach and method are relatively permanent, but technique may be adapted. So in this part, approach and method maybe it's still the same in the same way, but uh, the technique we can use another technique. For example, if you still using the same method in approach or the same method in learning, this is okay. But the technique, because we know that our student is not only same, like if we for example teach in grade 1 and then we teach again in the grade 2, they have like the different like the different situation, the different elements. So in this part you just need to prepare the technique, so the teacher need to uh, more carefully in their technique in the way they teach their student. And then language teacher, which is number 3, are also expect to be able to develop their own technique in the language learning process, of course, because we also already learned about approach and the method. We have a lot of method, but also the technique. So I also already explain, give the explanation about the technique, like the common technique that used in a teaching language. So in this part, the teacher who learn, oh no, the teacher who teach that their student about English or language, basically they need to uh, make a lot of technique or find a lot of interesting technique where they want to teach their students, something like that. So guys, I think that is all from me. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you guys understand about the material, and if you guys have any question you can leave your comment below and maybe I'm gonna try to answer your question. So see you again on the next time. Bye bye.